Did you know that B is the second letter in our alphabet, but it wasn't always that way? Indeed, in the early alphabets, B was a bit of a latecomer. It didn't immediately follow A as it does today. Instead, it shuffled around, exploring different positions before eventually finding its home right after A. This fascinating journey of B from obscurity to prominence is a testament to the dynamic nature of language. Quite intriguing, isn't it? But where did B come from? Let's explore. The letter B has an ancient history, dating back to the Phoenicians. Now, who were the Phoenicians, you might ask? Well, they were a group of people from the Eastern Mediterranean, thriving around 3,000 years ago. They were renowned for their maritime trading culture and, most importantly for us, their development of the alphabet. One of the symbols they used in their alphabet was a simple yet significant design that looked quite a bit like a house. It was called Bet, a word that translates to home in English. And Bet was the very first version of what we now know as the letter B. But how did we get from Bet to B? Well, the Phoenician alphabet didn't stay confined to the Phoenicians. It spread far and wide, influencing various cultures and languages. Among these were the Greeks, who adopted the Phoenician alphabet and made it their own. When the Greeks took the Bet, they turned it into Beta. Beta was the Greeks' own version of Bet, and it's the word that eventually gave birth to our B. But the journey didn't stop there. The Greeks passed on their alphabet to the Romans, who then spread it across their vast empire. And as the Roman Empire expanded, so did the use of the letter B. The B we know and use today has been shaped and reshaped by countless hands, carved into stone, written on parchment, printed in books, and now typed on keyboards. It has traveled through time, surviving thousands of years to become a part of our everyday language. It's a tale of transformation, from a humble house symbol to a vital part of our linguistic toolbox. A symbol that once represented a home has found a home in millions of words in hundreds of languages across the globe. So from a humble home to a brilliant B, our second letter has come a long way. Now let's dive into the soundscape of B. The letter B is what we call a voiced plosive in English. This means we use our vocal cords to produce it and release a burst of air when we pronounce it. Try it. Place your hand on your throat and say B. You'll feel a slight vibration, which is your vocal cords at work. Now place your hand in front of your mouth and say B again. You'll feel a puff of air. That's the plosive part. Voiced plosives are interesting, aren't they? But that's not all. The pronunciation of B varies in different languages, which adds to its charm. In Spanish, for instance, the B is pronounced with less air, making it sound softer, almost like a V. Listen closely to a native Spanish speaker say bibi, which means baby, and you'll hear it. Meanwhile, in German, B at the start of a word sounds similar to English, but when it's at the end, it sounds like a P. So the German word lieb, which means dear or sweet, is pronounced lieb. Over in Arabic, B is also a voiced plosive, but it's articulated deeper in the throat than in English. It's like a more robust version of our B. And let's not forget Russian, where B sounds like V when it's at the end of a word. So the Russian word for love, lyubov, ends with a V sound. Isn't it fascinating how B transforms across different languages? From a soft hum to a robust sound, from a strong burst to a V-like whisper. It's like a linguistic chameleon, effortlessly blending into the soundscape of each language, while still maintaining its distinct identity. As we journey through the world of B, we see how versatile and adaptable it is. It's not just a letter, it's a key player in the symphony of language, contributing its unique sound to the melody of words and sentences. From a soft hum to a strong burst, B certainly knows how to make a sound. Every letter has a role to play in our language, and B is no exception. The letter B has a significant role in the English language. It's a versatile character, capable of starting a word, ending it, or even lying low in the middle, subtly influencing the word's pronunciation. Let's dive into the world of B and see how it interacts with other letters to form words and meanings. Imagine starting your day or a project. What word comes to mind? Yes, it's begin, and there's our B right at the start, setting things in motion. It's not just about beginnings though. B is also a symbol of beauty. It's right there, adding depth and elegance to the word beauty. The B in beauty is like the first brushstroke on a canvas, setting the tone for the masterpiece that follows. Moving on, B can also be the perfect closure. Consider the words tub and rub. Here, B wraps things up, providing a satisfying end to the word. It's like the final dot on an I or cross on a T, the finishing touch that completes the picture. But what about the B's that aren't pronounced, the silent ones? They're the unsung heroes of the English language, quietly influencing the words they're part of. Take doubt, for instance. Without the B, it would just be doubt. But by adding a silent B, the word gains a certain gravitas, a depth it wouldn't otherwise have. Similarly, subtle wouldn't be quite as nuanced without its silent B. It's a silent reminder that even when B isn't heard, it's still making a difference. So B is a bit of a chameleon, a letter that can start a word, end it, or slip into the background. It's a crucial part of the English language, providing depth, closure, and quiet influence. It's a letter that's as versatile as it is valuable. Whether loud or silent, B has a knack for making its presence felt. We've journeyed from the ancient times to the present day, all in the company of one letter, B. It's been a fascinating trip, hasn't it? Yet our exploration of the alphabet has only just begun. The world of letters is as wide and varied as the languages they help to form. Each letter, from A to Z, has its own unique story, its own distinctive sound, and its own special role in the words we use every day. Remember B? It began as a picture of a house in ancient times, evolved over centuries. And now, it's a cornerstone of our language, popping up in so many words, from book to butterfly. Just as we've delved into the depths of B, there are 25 more letters waiting for their stories to be told. Each one is an adventure, a revelation, a key that unlocks a treasure of knowledge. Whether it's the looping L, the zigzagging Z, or the elegant E, every letter is a hero in its own right. So don't stop at B. Go beyond, dive deeper into the alphabet. Discover the sounds, the stories, the roles that each letter plays. Learn their origins, understand their transformations. It's a journey of discovery, one letter at a time. Remember, every letter has a story, a sound, a role, so let the journey of discovery continue.